It's time now for Futures in Focus, and we're looking at copper today. It's coming off its best intraday gain in 7 weeks yesterday on optimism that stabilizing economies will buoy demand from Europe to China. China, of course, the world's top metals consumer. And my next guest thinks there might be another big move in the cards. Joining me now from the CME is Knuckman. He's chief market strategist at Bullseye Options. So we've seen this now 2-day bounce for copper prices, Alan. What do you think are the prospects here for it to continue?
Well, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. You're seeing a bit of a bounce. We want to see how it follows through. But if you look in the scope of the larger, project here, you can see copper's gone straight down or down for more than 4 years. So you see these bounces typically. But the $3 level is a psychological pivot. And the last time we got there in May, the market got slammed down for a month and a half, and now we're approaching the lows one more time. We'll want to see how the markets are able to take out those February lows or not. But from a risk-reward standpoint, I think this may be a position to kind of ease into copper for the long term.
For the long term, and why is that? Because if you look at the headwinds out there, China is still sort of a question at the very least. Dollar strength looks pretty intact here, so why would it be a longer-term bet for you?
Well, the midpoint of the action in the last 5 years is about 350. So there's more to be gained on the upside than the downside potential. The copper's really disconnected from some of the economic fundamentals. You know, China is China. What we hear or what we believe out of China are two different things. But I think the housing market coming back, is a positive sign. It used to be very correlated to what was happening in housing, but we don't put as much copper in our homes as we used to years ago. So I'm not really encouraged about copper because of the dollar equation. You have to be a believer that the dollar has topped out, but I don't think that's necessarily happened. I think you can lean on $2 in copper. I think there is another way, another vehicle. You could use FCX, Freeport-McMoRan, as a copper proxy, and that stock's really been trading nowhere between $16 and $24 and stuck at $20 for the last month. So that looks like it wants to do something. Again, I just have a psychological bias to the upside because I think a lot of the selling pressure has already been done.
Okay, so it sounds like you might be adding here, but you're not adding a lot.
Right. I'm not very encouraged. There's so many markets like steel and gold and coal and copper that have been beaten down as far as resources go because of the strength of the dollar. And you're really fighting the dollar. And unless we get solidly below 90, we're still in a solid uptrend in the dollar index.
All right. Knuckman talking to us about copper here and the interplay
Thank you very
with
much,
currencies.
Shirley.
Thanks a lot, Alan, coming to us from the CME.